What if I told you that one invisible chemical inside your brain can predict whether you'll stop watching this video or stay until the very end? And here's the strange part. The biggest YouTubers in the world understand this chemical better than most people watching their videos. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how it works. But first, I want you to notice what your own brain does over the next few minutes. Have you ever promised yourself on screen whisper, just one more video, just one more video? The video ends, a new thumbnail appears. Without thinking, you click again. 10 minutes becomes 30. 30 minutes becomes 2 hours. Then you look at the clock and ask yourself, how did that happen? Here's the surprising part. It probably wasn't your lack of willpower. Most people believe social media is addictive because it's entertaining. That's only half the story. The real reason is hidden inside a tiny chemical messenger that evolved thousands of years before smartphones even existed. And once you understand what that chemical actually does, you'll never look at YouTube the same way again. You've probably heard dopamine called the pleasure chemical. That sounds good, but it isn't completely true. If dopamine were only about pleasure, you'd stop scrolling as soon as you found one great video. But that's not what happens. Instead, you keep looking for another one, and another, and another, and another. Why? Because dopamine isn't really the chemical of pleasure, it's the chemical of pull. Imagine your brain has an engine. That engine doesn't ask, did you enjoy that? Instead, it asks, what comes next? That single question changes everything. In the next minute, I'm going to show you the 4-step loop that keeps millions of people watching videos far longer than they planned. Once you see it, you'll start recognizing it everywhere. Every thumbnail, every title, every viral video, and maybe even this one. Here it is. The invisible cycle that powers many of the internet's most successful videos. It only has 4 steps. They look simple, but together they can keep millions of people watching far longer than they ever intended. Let's walk through each one. Everything begins with a cue,
a thumbnail,
a title, a notification, a friend's recommendation. Anything that tells your brain something interesting might be here. Notice what I said, might. Your brain doesn't know if the reward is real. It only knows there's a possibility. That tiny possibility is enough to grab your attention. Secret in just a minute. Before the answer arrives, your brain is already leaning forward. It wants closure. It wants certainty. And that feeling keeps you watching. But anticipation alone isn't enough. If creators stop here, they lose their audience. The 3rd step is where your brain makes a decision. Action is the moment you respond. You click, you swipe, you stay instead of leaving. It feels like a small decision, but every click tells the platform something important. It says, this caught my attention. One click doesn't seem like much, but millions of tiny decisions shape what the algorithm recommends next. Now ask yourself something. When was the last time you clicked a video without even remembering why? That wasn't random. Your brain had already made the decision before you consciously noticed it. Finally comes the reward. Maybe you learn an amazing fact. Maybe the joke finally lands. Maybe the mystery is solved. Maybe the ending is exactly what you hoped for. That's when your brain says, that was worth it. But here's the twist that changes everything. The reward isn't actually the most important part. It's what happens after the reward that keeps the loop alive. Because if every reward were predictable, you'd eventually stop watching. So why don't you? The answer comes from a surprising place, the casino. So why don't you stop watching after one great video? Because your brain isn't chasing certainty, it's chasing possibility. Psychologists call this a variable reward schedule. You don't have to remember the name. Just remember this. The rewards are unpredictable. Sometimes the next video is amazing. Sometimes it's just okay. Sometimes it's a complete waste of time. But you never know which one comes next. And that's exactly what keeps you scrolling. Imagine walking into a casino where every machine paid the exact same price every single time. Would anyone keep playing? Probably not. Predictability becomes boring. Uncertainty creates excitement. And social media platforms understand that better than almost anyone. That's why every swipe feels important. Your brain quietly whispers, the next one could be even better. Most of the time, it isn't. But every once in a while, you discover an incredible video. That one success resets your expectations and the cycle begins again. But the biggest creators don't rely on luck alone. They use something even more powerful. It's called an open loop. An open loop is simply an unanswered question. Your brain doesn't like unfinished stories. It doesn't like missing information. It naturally wants closure. That's why questions are so powerful. Not because they're mysterious, but because your brain wants to finish what it started. Think about what happened earlier in this video. I told you this next idea changes everything. At that moment, your brain started waiting for the explanation. That tiny feeling of curiosity wasn't an accident. It was an open loop. And here's something fascinating. You probably didn't even notice it happening. Now, here's where great storytelling becomes different from clickbait. Great creators open a question, then deliver a meaningful answer. Clickbait opens a question and never really answers it. One builds trust, the other slowly destroys it. The best creators rarely stop at one open loop. Before they answer the first question, they introduce another, then another. Each answer naturally leads to the next idea. You're never confused. You're simply curious about what's coming next. That's why the best educational videos don't feel like lectures. They feel like stories. But here's the question that matters most. When does using the dopamine loop become helpful? And when does it become manipulation? That answer separates great creators from forgettable ones. So when does the dopamine loop become manipulation? The answer isn't the technique, it's the intention behind it. Every storyteller creates curiosity. Teachers do it, authors do it, filmmakers do it. Even your favorite conversations begin with a question that makes you want to know more. The problem isn't creating curiosity. The problem is making promises you never intend to keep. Think about the last time you clicked on a video with an incredible title, only to discover there wasn't much there. How did you feel? Probably disappointed. Your brain remembers broken promises, and eventually it stops believing them. Now think about your favorite creator. Why do you keep coming back? It's probably not because they have the flashiest thumbnails. It's because they've earned your trust. Every question leads to a real answer. Every promise has a payoff. Every video leaves you feeling like your time was well spent. That's what keeps an audience coming back for years, not days. Take a look at this comparison. Left side, what both types of creators do. Use strong titles, create curiosity, ask questions, build anticipation, encourage viewers to keep watching.
Right side, what makes them different ethical creators?
Deliver on their promises, teach something useful, respect the viewer's time, build long-term trust.
Clickbait creators,
overpromise, underdeliver,
create frustration,
lose credibility over time. Most people think the YouTube algorithm is a cold, heartless robot, but it's really watching one thing, people. If viewers stay engaged, the algorithm assumes the video provided value. It can't measure honesty. It can't measure integrity. Those choices belong to the creator. That's why the best creators don't chase attention alone. They earn it. So the next time you find yourself scrolling late at night, pause for just a second. Ask yourself one simple question. Am I enjoying this, or am I simply waiting for the next hit of curiosity? That single question gives you something many people never have, awareness. The platforms haven't changed. Their goal is still to keep you watching, but now you understand the game. You're no longer trapped inside the loop. You're the one holding the map. If this video helped you understand why certain videos are so hard to stop watching, I'd really appreciate your support. Subscribe to the channel. Every subscriber helps us create more educational content like this. More importantly, it helps support our mission to find new ways to serve and feed veterans and their families through the work of our nonprofit community. Together, learning can make a real difference. Now, I have a question for you. What is one video that you simply couldn't stop watching recently? Leave it in the comments. Let's break down the psychology behind it together. You might be surprised by what we discover. Why do we click videos that make us angry? In the next video, we'll uncover the surprising answer. And once you see it, you'll never scroll the same way.